5 edge rushers that could interest the Lions coming from Tim Twentyman. Shout out to Tim Twentyman. Shout out to Danny Rogers as well. Says this is the Lions edge rusher depth chart. Charles Harris, Romeo O, Julian O, Austin Bryant, and Eric, who are you, Banks? I would know a Carlton Banks before Eric. Who is Eric Banks, bruh? Who is Eric? Can anybody tell me why? Who is Eric Banks, man? The Lions, he says, Lions edge rusher draft priority high. The return of R.O., Romeo, off an Achilles injury. He missed 13 games. Bro, that's our that's our edge, that's our rusher? Bruh. Can anybody tell me why? Are you serious? That is terrible. We need some edge help. I have been screaming since I got on this platform about edge rushers. We need one this draft. We missed out on Chase Young. We missed out on a lot of cats. Carlos says, I say Detroit. Thank you, bro. All right. Now, we're going to start from Tim Twentyman's number 5. Out of Purdue, coming in at 6'4", 266 pounds. He ran a 4.71 George Karlaftis. All right, now this is Tim's take on George K. He says Karlaftis is a nonstop worker on the edge with a motor that never quits. A lot of times his sacks and tackles for loss came from pure effort. He's a very powerful rusher with terrific hand skills. He also sets the edge well in the run game. He's one of those players that doesn't necessarily do anything exceptional, but he does everything really well. So that means he's a jack of all trades, but a master of none, if that makes sense. Just a good all-around player. All right, now he does have the sleeper as Boye Mafe, 6'4", 261 pounds, ran a 4.53 in a 40. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is his sleeper. Number 5 is George Karlaftis. Number 4, the guy that popped on everybody's radar and everybody hates. I'm going to say Trayvon. I've heard Trayvon. I'm going to say Trayvon. Trayvon Walker out of Georgia. Walker is 6'5", 272 pounds, ran a 4.51 in the 40. He says, talk about an athletic specimen. Oh, Lord. That's a bad sign to me. Walker almost ran in the 4.4s at 6'5" and 272 pounds at the combine. He might also be the most positionally diverse defensive lineman in this draft, which teams would love about him. He played inside a lot at Georgia, but what he could do with that size and that athleticism if a team puts him on the edge and just lets him get after the quarterback. That actually was a question, but I read that as a statement. The only hesitation teams should have is a lack of production last season. 6 sacks and 7.5 tackles for a loss that doesn't match his athletic traits. Now, didn't the brother only have like less than 10 sacks in his whole college career? And 6 of them came last season? Now, in the middle of this pack is the guy that we've been talking about, made a video about him today. Me personally, I don't feel this guy. I just don't, man. Number 3, Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon. 6'4", 254 pounds, ran a 4.58 in the 40. Tim says, there may be some question marks about his motor, but there are no questions about his, oh Lord, but there are no questions about his athleticism and speed coming off the edge. You see a trend here? We're talking about the athleticism of these guys. Thibodeau is raw. Thibodeau has raw athletic traits that made him a terrific pass rusher at Oregon and someone who can set the edge well in the run game. He doesn't have as many pro-ready pass rush moves as Aiden Hutchinson, but those will come with NFL coaching. He has a high ceiling. Now, we just talked about earlier in the show how Dan Campbell wants a guy that's going to make an impact day one. Day one. And he literally says Kayvon needs to be coached. Number 2, Jermaine Johnson II out of Florida State. 6'5", 254 pounds, ran a 4.58 in the 40. Tim says, one of my favorite players in the entire draft. The last time I saw someone have the kind of Senior Bowl Johnson had down in Mobile earlier this offseason was Aaron Donald in 2014. Aaron Donald, the guy who single-handedly, I don't care what you say, won the Super Bowl for the LA Rams. He doesn't get to Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase is wide open, yes. And the Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl. Johnson was that dominant. When you factor in the production, 11.5 sacks, 17.5 tackles for a loss, and 70 total tackles, and the fact that he's one of the best run-stopping edge rushers in this class, he certainly sounds like a fit in Detroit. Man, that says a lot. So let me ask y'all a question. This is going to be a hot one right here. Aiden Hutchinson goes 1 to Jacksonville. Do you take Jermaine Johnson II at number 2? Here's a spicier take. This is a spicy. This is a spicy. Aiden Hutchinson is there at 2. Do you take Jermaine Johnson II out of Florida State at number 2? Jermaine Johnson, man, I'm telling you, I think he's making probably the biggest name for himself. This brother has climbed from the end of the first round to Tankathon now has him at, well, they got him at 14, but I don't think he lasts to 14. Number 1 on Tim Twentyman's list, number 1 is Aiden Hutchinson. 6'7", 260, ran a 4.74 40-yard dash. Says the Heisman Trophy runner-up set the Wolverine single-season sack record last year, which was 14, and notched 16.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Hutchinson has position versatility due to his size, and he possesses a motor that never quits. He's a candidate to go number 1 overall to Jacksonville, but if the Jacksonville Jaguars pass on him, Holmes and the Lions should snatch him up at number 2 and have an immediate impact rusher for their young defense. Now, that's what I've been saying since day one. I've been saying that since day one. See, breezy. That if Aiden Hutchinson is on the board, you got to take him. Only way I don't take Hutch at 2, man, is if you giving me a haul. You got to give me, you have to buy the farm. Give me the farm, man.